Hey guys, everything alright? Let me ask you something. Are you tired of the same mediocre graphics? Then pay attention to this video, because today I'm bringing you 15 new games with graphics that will really surprise you. Starting with Black State, a third-person espionage game developed by Motion Blur and using Unreal Engine 5. The game stands out for its promise of realistic graphics and high-level optimization, inspired by titles like Metal Gear Solid and Splinter Cell. It will be released for PC via Steam and the Epic Games Store. The main focus of Black State's development lies in its graphics. The use of Unreal Engine 5 allows the creation of detailed and realistic visual environments. Gameplay footage released in 4K with ray tracing enabled demonstrates the game's ability to render complex scenarios with high visual fidelity. Although it's a technological demonstration and doesn't represent the final version of the game, it suggests a high level of graphic realism. The game also promises fluid transitions between stages without loading screens. Crimson Desert is an upcoming open-world action RPG developed by Pearl Abyss, the same company behind the popular Black Desert Online. Although initially planned as a prequel to Black Desert, Crimson Desert now has its own story, set in the same universe but focusing on a new protagonist and narrative. Pearl Abyss is known for its ability to create visually stunning worlds, and Crimson Desert is no exception. The game features high-fidelity graphics, with impressive details in environments, characters, and visual effects. The game's graphics engine renders vast and diverse landscapes, from snowy mountains to arid deserts and lush plains. The characters are detailed, with realistic animations and convincing facial expressions. The combats are visually impactful, with particle effects and dynamic lighting that contribute to an immersive experience. Ready or Not is a tactical first-person shooter developed by Void Interactive. Originally released for PC via Steam in 2021, the game will finally arrive on consoles in August 2025. The game emphasizes realism and the simulation of SWAT team tactical operations, focusing on resolving high-risk situations such as hostage rescue and bomb disposal. The graphics of Ready or Not are one of the pillars of its immersion, designed to reinforce the tactical realism and tension of SWAT operations. The game has used Unreal Engine 5 since the Home Invasion update, July 2024, which significantly increased the visual quality compared to the Unreal Engine 4 used in early access. Unreal Engine 5 introduced Lumen, the real-time global illumination system, which creates dynamic shadows and realistic reflections. This is particularly noticeable in night missions, where tactical flashlights and night vision goggles highlight the contrast between illuminated and dark areas, increasing tension. A.I.L.A is a first-person horror game developed by Pulsatrix Studios and published by Fireshine Games, scheduled for release in 2025. The game stands out for its graphic immersion, promising a visually impactful experience. The game uses Unreal Engine 5, an advanced graphics engine that allows the creation of extremely realistic and detailed environments. Features such as Lumen for dynamic and realistic global illumination and MetaHuman for creating photorealistic human characters are employed to achieve an impressive level of visual realism. This results in a visually immersive experience that seeks to intensify the psychological horror proposed by the narrative. A.I.L.A promises to be a remarkable horror experience, focusing on high-quality graphics and a tense and immersive atmosphere. The use of Unreal Engine 5 and advanced technologies suggests that the game will be visually impressive, raising the level of immersion and intensifying the impact of the horror experience.
Criaturas estranhas rondando a área. Eu não sei o que elas são. Uma delas tentou me atacar. Socorro! SOS!
Qual é o seu maior medo, Samuel?
Meu maior medo? Morte, provavelmente.
Legend of Ymir is an MMORPG developed by We, a renowned South Korean company known for the Ymir series. The game, inspired by Norse mythology, promises an immersive experience with cutting-edge graphics, innovative mechanics, and a unique approach that combines classic MMORPG elements with blockchain technology. The graphics of Legend of Ymir are one of the most praised and ambitious aspects of the game, built with Unreal Engine 5, UE5, the most advanced graphics engine currently available. We took full advantage of UE5's capabilities to create a visually impressive world, with details that raise the standard of graphic fidelity in MMORPGs. The use of Unreal Engine 5 allows for photorealistic environments, with high-quality textures, dynamic lighting, and highly detailed character models. Every element of the scenery, from dense forests to snow-capped mountains, is designed to immerse the player in the Norse universe. Light No Fire is an upcoming adventure, building, survival, and exploration game developed by Hello Games, the creators of No Man's Sky. Set on an Earth-sized fantasy planet, the game promises an unprecedented open world in scale and variety. Although specific details about the graphics engine and technologies used have not yet been revealed, the images and videos released suggest an impressive visual style. The game seems to be inspired by classic fantasy elements, with lush and detailed environments, fantastic creatures, and an immersive atmosphere. Hello Games is known for its ability to procedurally generate worlds, and Light No Fire is expected to take this technology to a new level, creating a vast and diverse planet with a variety of biomes and landscapes. The promise of a true open world indicates a special attention to visual fidelity and large-scale detail generation. The experience should be visually rich and immersive, focusing on exploring a vast and detailed world. Grand Theft Auto 6 is one of the most anticipated games in history, developed by Rockstar Games with a confirmed release date of May 26, 2026 on PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series platforms. The game promises to be a landmark in the video game industry, especially for its technical advancements, highlighting the graphics that have impressed fans and critics. GTA 6's graphics have been widely praised for their visual fidelity, realism, and attention to detail, positioning the game as one of the most impressive of the next generation. Rockstar uses the proprietary Rage, Rockstar Advanced Game Engine, graphics engine, enhanced to make the most of the PS5 and Xbox Series X capabilities, with rumors of support for advanced technologies such as ray tracing and ray-traced global illumination. The trailers show high-resolution textures, highlighting hair, fluids, and crowd physics, surpassing even Red Dead Redemption 2, which was already a graphic milestone.
Let's go. Hey. Yeah, this is my life, my strife, my right to fight, to die on. And this is my game to play, to claim a brand new name, oh. And I ain't gonna lie to you, I'm a bit nervous that I might screw everything up that I've ever done. But what's the point of living if you ain't having fun? I guess I'll try this, try that, might miss, gotta find what I'm good at. I guess I look here, look there, over where am I scared, where am I at? I gotta make it in this life, whatever makes me happy, know I'm doing things right. Sipping in the summer on a goose and Sprite, or find a nightclub for the end of the night, oh. And we all got dreams, we all want things, but what you gonna do for it, how you gonna move for it, what you gonna be? And do you believe you can do anything? But what you gonna do for it, how you gonna move for it, what you gonna be?
Mafia: The Old Country is the next title in the acclaimed Mafia series, developed by Hangar 13 and published by 2K Games. The game is scheduled to be released on August 8, 2025 for PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, and PC. One of the aspects that has generated the most expectation around Mafia: The Old Country is its visuals. The game is being built using Unreal Engine 5, a cutting-edge graphics engine that promises to deliver an impressive level of visual fidelity. Expect richly detailed environments, from the rural landscapes of Sicily to the cramped and dirty streets of the cities. The development team is seeking maximum authenticity in recreating the era and location. From the previews, we can expect convincing weather effects such as rain-wetting surfaces and fog enveloping the landscape.
You again.
Ark 2 is the sequel to the popular survival game Ark Survival Evolved. Set in a primitive and mysterious world called A.I.L.A, the game puts players in the shoes of survivors who need to adapt to a hostile ecosystem full of dinosaurs, fantastic creatures, and other dangers. The narrative seems to have a greater focus than the first game, with the presence of renowned actor Vin Diesel playing the character Santiago, who also serves as executive producer of the game. One of the most exciting aspects of Ark 2 is its transition to Unreal Engine 5, Epic Games' latest and most powerful engine. This change promises a significant graphical leap from its predecessor. The engine will allow the creation of more complex and reactive ecosystems, with dense foliage and other environmental elements rendered with high fidelity. Unlike the first game, Ark 2 will be played exclusively in third person, which will provide a new perspective for exploration and combat.
What's up, old friend?
Gears of War A.I.L.A. is the next title in the acclaimed Gears of War franchise. Instead of being a direct sequel, the game will take us back to the horrifying events of Emergence Day, A.I.L.A., the moment when the monstrous Locust Horde emerged from underground and plunged the planet Serra into chaos. The big news is that this game will act as an origin story for two of the series' most beloved characters, Marcus Fenix and Dom Santiago. We will see how these young heroes face the nightmare of the Locust invasion together for the first time. The Gears of War series has always been known for its dark and violent atmosphere. With the power of Unreal Engine 5, A.I.L.A. promises to intensify this brutality even further, with more visceral and impactful visuals of the combats against the Locust Horde. Death Stranding 2 on the beach is being developed using the Decima engine, the same powerful engine used in Horizon Zero Dawn, Horizon Forbidden West, and Death Stranding itself. Kojima Productions seems to be taking this technology to a new level. The scenarios are incredibly detailed, with meticulous attention to terrain, lighting, and the facial expressions of the characters. The realism of the textures and the color composition contribute to even greater visual immersion. The representation of nature, as seen in the opening in Mexico with the dust and rocky terrain, is particularly impressive. The character modeling seems extremely detailed, raising the level of the Decima engine. There is mention of the advanced use of metahuman technology, which ensures even greater realism in facial expressions.
Still on the brink of extinction. Don't act like you don't see it. A lot of things changed after you went off on your own, especially within the UCA. Bridges no longer oversees the distribution network. They withdrew once things were up and running. So your friends and co-workers all went their separate ways. Within network coverage, there's no need to rely on human porters anymore. So after I closed up shop, I went and started a new group. One that handles work in regions outside the UCA. We decided to call ourselves Drawbridge.
With the support of the chiral network and A.I.L.A, humanity will be free from the need to move around. Bots are capable of handling the litter.
The Witcher 4, codename Project Polaris, is the next big title from CD Projekt Red, officially announced in March 2022, and with a cinematic trailer revealed at the Game Awards 2024. The game marks the beginning of a new trilogy in the Witcher franchise, with Ciri, Geralt's adopted daughter, taking on the role of protagonist. The graphics are one of the most talked about aspects of The Witcher 4, especially because of the use of Unreal Engine 5 and the promise of surpassing the visuals of The Witcher 3 and Cyberpunk 2077. The adoption of Unreal Engine 5 is a milestone for CD Projekt Red, allowing the use of advanced technologies such as nanite for detailed geometry, lumen for dynamic global illumination, and metahuman for hyper-realistic characters. The trailer revealed at the Game Awards 2024 was entirely cinematic, without gameplay, but impressed with its level of detail. It took 14 days of motion capture, mocap, to produce, indicating extreme care with the visual presentation.
She went to go to the woods. The chosen one. His tradition.
Oh no, no, no.
It's all we wanted. For her to go to the woods. To go to the gods.
Gods? There are no gods here. There are only monsters.
Wuchang Fallen Feathers is a Souls-like action RPG developed by Lindsay and published by 505 Games, with a scheduled release date of July 24, 2025. The game takes place in the land of Shu, during the tumultuous end of the Ming Dynasty in China, a period marked by civil wars and a mysterious disease that transforms people into monstrous creatures. You play as Bai Wuchang, a skilled pirate who suffers from amnesia and is infected with the feather disease. The game features a dark fantasy aesthetic with a strong influence from Chinese mythology and history. The art direction is described as grotesque yet beautiful, combining historical settings with supernatural elements. The use of Unreal Engine 5 allows for realistic lighting, physics-based effects, and high-quality textures. This results in scenarios with dynamic reflections, soft shadows, and detailed particles such as fog and sparks during combat. Ghost of Yotei is a highly anticipated open-world action-adventure game developed by Sucker Punch and published by Sony. It is a standalone sequel to 2020's Ghost of Tsushima, but with a new protagonist, setting, and story, maintaining the pillars that made the original game a success. Ghost of Yotei is described as one of Sucker Punch's most beautiful games, with breathtaking landscapes that capture the beauty and brutality of Hokkaido. The trailer, The Onryo's List, showcases vast scenery, including ginkgo forests, snowy mountains, windswept plains, and rustic villages, all rendered with a high level of detail. Compared to Ghost of Tsushima, Yotei's graphics represent a significant leap, as the game is designed exclusively for the PS5 without the limitations of the PS4. This allows for sharper textures, higher object density, such as foliage and NPCs, and more advanced lighting effects, such as real-time reflections and dynamic shadows.
The spider. The dragon. Lord Saito.
What are we going to do with this one, Saito?
I'm sorry it came to this, little wolf.
Situ Rainu. Why do you always call me that?
It means one who is easily lost in the hunt.
Cronos, The New Dawn, is an upcoming third-person survival horror game developed and published by Bloober Team, with a planned release in 2025 on PlayStation 5, Windows, PC, and Xbox Series platforms. The game features a unique combination of Eastern European brutalism, inspired by 1980s Soviet architecture, especially in Krakow and Nowa Huta, with retro-futuristic technology, evoking comparisons to Alien and the early Star Wars films. This aesthetic creates a striking visual contrast between the past, 1980s Poland, and the devastated post-apocalyptic future. Bloober Team is known for its attention to atmosphere, and the graphics reinforce this with fog effects, particles, and detailed textures. The settings are designed to reinforce the narrative, with breakable objects, debris, and environmental details that tell the story of the apocalypse. Well, that was the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and see you next time.
Is our calling.
Good thing I was around. Traveler.